Captain's Log, Stardate 201610.07. Welcome back, guys. It's Friday, and it's new Captain's Log. But today, I think we're going to do a Discovery Free Zone. Got over 224 comments on my last Captain's Log, most of them Discovery related. I'm going to ignore most of those. I said I was going to do the same thing last time, and even cutting a lot of the ones out last time. I had about 140, 160 last time. Cut a lot of those out, and I was still running over an hour for the Captain's Log, and I don't want to do that again. There are a few things I need to talk to you about real quick first, and then I'll go through and select a few ones that are just not Discovery related. There will be no Discovery discussion in this Captain's Log, as I'm sick to death of hearing about Discovery, both good and bad. So I think, to be fair, I'm just going to keep it more neutral this time. If anything really fantastic comes up about Discovery, I'm sure Samuel and myself will cover it in a podcast or a special video, or I will mention it in the next Captain's Log. I might get back to the topic, but it's just turned into one big Discovery forum debate on my comments here, and I don't want that. I want to be able to interact with you guys and actually find out what you guys want to know about me for questions and comments that you guys have. So that's where I think I'm going to go with that for this Captain's Log. And I'm sorry if that upsets you guys. If you don't want to watch because there's no Discovery talk, feel free to turn it off now. But the Captain's Log has kind of drifted away from what it was supposed to be and what it has been all along. So I'm just going to get back into that right now. First thing I want to talk about is our new Indiegogo campaign that we just launched to get us to Drex-conoga, as I'm calling it. Doug Drexler is flying out to Trekyards, New York to visit the CBS licensed set tours done by James Colley. He's going to be giving set tours based on, he's going to show you which direction certain streets are in Hollywood and based on where they are in the set, so you feel like you're actually on the lot back in the 60s. So that's going to be fantastic, and it came up last minute as a thing, and James Colley sent me a message saying, hope you guys are going to be there. So we've scrambled, we've made arrangements to go, but any costs we can reimburse would be greatly appreciated from you guys. Now I understand a lot of people have complained already in the comments and stuff that why were you starting another fundraiser? I wish somebody could pay for me to go on holiday, stuff like that, which really, to be honest, pisses me off. It's a working vacation. It's not really a vacation. I know Samuel will be coming up here for a week or so. That'll kind of be some chill time, but you guys aren't paying for that because it's at my house. All we have to kind of cover is, and by the way, we're not getting this Indiegogo money before the trip starts. This stuff will all come in after the fact. So this is all out of pocket for us. And I just want to kind of break it down for you guys to kind of explain the costs. There's, of course, the flight for Samuel over here. He's going to Boston. He's going to see Andrew Probert, get some stuff signed by Andrew Probert, because he's one of the designers we haven't had sign anything yet. So there's new perks from Andrew Probert. If you've got autographs and stuff last time, like the bundle, you're missing Andrew Probert. So you can go on and snag some of his stuff. There's some exclusive limited edition perks this time. The comm badges, like I said, batch 1 is done now. The official limited first release of the comm badges are finished. So all the people that got one for the first campaign, sorry it's taken so long, we've already talked about this, but it will be they will be sent out when we're in Ticonderoga to save some shipping costs for us. And there's limited edition numbers of these, so there's only like 10 available for this new campaign. So snag them up if you can. A lot of people were wondering when they can get one and how they could get one. That's how you do it, going to the Indiegogo campaign. There's 10 available, and those are already pre-made, so I don't have to worry about making them and having it be a couple months down the road that you get them. They will be shipped out pretty much as soon as the campaign is over. So wanted to get that out there for you guys. But then Samuel is driving into Ticonderoga. He's coming in with his dad. His dad is paying his own way, his own hotel, flight, all that. You don't have to worry about covering any of that cost. My brother is driving down with me. I'm driving down. It's about a 7.5 hour drive for me, so all I have to pay for is gas. Not a big deal. Done it before. And then the hotel for the 3 nights that we're there. So that's basically it, because when it's over, when the weekend's over on the 24th, when we head back on the Monday, Samuel's dad is taking off, going back to England. Samuel's hopping in the car with me and my brother. We're driving back to my place, and then we're going to do some hangout stuff here, some Trekyards meet and greet with everybody in the London area, and filming some green screens, some other really cool stuff, some back and forth with Samuel and myself, things like that. So some really good stuff there. And then Rob Bonchoon is coming down from Montreal for like 2 days to hang out with us here, and then him and Samuel are taking the train back to Montreal to Rob's place, and then Samuel's going to get a bunch more effects tutorials and stuff like that, questions about Rob's time working on Enterprise and Voyager, those kind of interviews. So there's lots of stuff coming out of this campaign, as well as the last one. We promised you a lot of stuff. We've delivered a lot of stuff. We're still pumping out the stuff from the last campaign, so this is just going to be added stuff. So hope you guys appreciate that. But there's no hotel costs here. I don't have to pay for a plane ticket. It's just, gas, the hotel while we're down there, and Samuel's flight in and home is basically it. So it's a smaller campaign. It's a lot shorter runtime. Please check it out. I will have a link in the description below. I would love any help. We would love any help that you guys can give us. And even if you can't help financially, that's fine. We understand that. If you could please share it and try to get it out there to as many people as possible. And please don't think we're trying to be money grubbers or trying to get a free vacation, because that's not what it is. This is just a great opportunity. We got a chance to see Doug Drexler again, get some Andrew Probert stuff for you guys, and interview Doug and James Cawley together, do a kind of a documentary style thing on the sets, talking to the fans that are there and how they enjoyed the time with meeting Doug. Things like that. Plus the Sunday, the day after, because Doug's doing all this on Saturday, then he's leaving late Saturday night. So Sunday, James has allowed us to kind of have full access of the sets. We're going to film a bunch of stuff, which we can use later when we do our special Constitution class episodes, much like we did the one for the Galaxy class, that kind of thing. It's the special Connie episodes. It'll be the commander and myself on the sets of the Enterprise, pointing things out and talking and doing cutaways for certain segments of the show, things like that. So it'll be very, very cool that way, and I think it's something you guys will really appreciate. So please, that's the breakdown of the campaign. It's not meant to be we're going to make tons of money, because we're not. Like I said, we're putting this all out of pocket. We'll get the money after the fact and maybe recoup some of our losses. But we definitely wanted to do this, and the opportunity presented itself, and we had to take it. So there you go. And it's for you guys. It is for us as well. Like, we understand that, but it is for you guys. This thing is sitting funny, and it's straight. It took me forever to get straight, but sometimes when I sit, it just sits funny, and it's Anyway, so I'm going to go through some of the comments, but first, I wanted to talk a little bit about making YouTube videos. It used to be fun. It used to be a real hobby of mine. Trekyards was great to start with. Now it's like a job. It's stressful, especially with all the negativity around Discovery and all of the snide comments and remarks about, oh, well, you didn't like it. You didn't like this aspect of this ship in this episode, but in this episode you say you liked it. You know what? My opinion can change, and it often does. And the fact that I say I don't really, Enterprise isn't my favorite. Okay, I didn't like the Xindi story arc. Then people are jumping down my neck. Well, why do you hate Enterprise? Well, I don't hate Enterprise, first of all. The next thing is, well, if you don't understand the Xindi story arc, you're not very smart, and you don't understand human behavior and, the terrorist threat and blah, 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 blah. No, that's not it at all either, by the way. I just don't enjoy the fact that they shoehorned in the Xindi, a new race or a species of alien, when they had perfectly good aliens to work with. But anyway, so there's a lot of negativity that surrounds this job, and there's just a lot of policing of the comments and and having to deal with all that. I try not to read a lot of the comments anymore, but the odd one I do read, and some of them really upset me. And it's that one negative one that really sets me off. And like I said, as you guys know, I have depression, I have anxiety. So a lot of you guys will be out there right now saying, oh, well, you shouldn't be doing this then. Or, well, whatever. I mean, you're entitled to your opinion, wrong as it is. This is very therapeutic for me. I love talking to you guys. I love making this stuff. but it's just getting to the point where it's not super enjoyable all the time now to make these. A lot of times it's very stressful, and yeah, so there's that, and a lot of that stems, I think, from the negativity surrounding Discovery. Yeah, it's a new series, and I know that TNG was bashed quite a bit when it first was announced and things like that, but I just want to be done with it. We need to talk about the Discovery news. That's what we do. We're Trekyards. We need to cover that stuff. You guys enjoy hearing our thoughts on it. Most of you, a large percentage of you, the majority of you, enjoy hearing our thoughts on it, and don't bitch and whine and complain like little children when you don't hear something that you like. And there's the odd person that will, say something rude and insulting. And yes, if you're going to be a prick, you're gone. You won't be able to comment. You'll be banned from the channel for commenting and things like that. And it's just the way it is. So keep that in mind when you post your comments. If I see one that's totally rude and insulting and has no purpose whatsoever, then just be you being an asshole, you're out of here. There's constructive criticisms. There's things that you can say that have validation and are actually important and people might want to hear, and it creates positive discussion even about a negative issue. That's fine. But to be a complete dink about things, well, sorry for your luck, but get the fuck out of my life. I don't need you in it. Goodbye. Sorry. That my little rant's over, but I just wanted to tell you guys that the negativity has really been getting to me, and I'm not really enjoying this 24/7 like I used to. Now it's a lot of times like, oh, I gotta do that. So anyway, that's why I'm hoping this trip will kind of help out that, because I love doing these kind of things, and seeing Samuel again will be cool, and we can hang out and do some fun stuff, and that was fun to meet him. And now this will be more relaxing because we're going to be at my house. We're not going to be always on and going from hotel to hotel to job to job to job. We can kind of pace ourselves a little bit better and enjoy the time here, which is kind of a mini vacation, I guess you could say. So, but anyway, on a more positive note, the other day when I was at an antique warehouse or mall, there was like 3 levels to this thing. It was awesome. Anyway, on the 3rd level, I actually found these, the Star Trek motion picture video discs, RCA Select Division, and there were $7 for the 2 of them. It's 2 parts. Disc 1 has 2 sides. Disc 2 is only 1 side. Disc 1 is 1 hour and 34 minutes, and disc 2 is 38 minutes, 1 side only. But on the back, it's basically the novel version of the motion picture. They have enough real estate on the back of these things that it's basically just the whole story in novel form, which is very cool. But there's some really cool graphics and stuff on these. I thought I'd snag them up. They're kind of unique. I'd never seen them before, and they're a nice addition to my collection. They make good wall hangers when I do my media room down here at some point. I think that'd be fantastic. And apparently these are becoming a new thing, like a retro thing, I guess. Much like vinyl, they're kind of coming back into vogue. So I don't know. A lot of people, when I posted that I got these, said, oh, I had those, and I had Star Trek 2 as well, and blah, 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 which is awesome. So maybe they still work, maybe they don't, I don't know, but they're very cool graphical art and a piece of history and Star Trek history, collectible, and yeah, it's just awesome. So I thought I'd share those with you guys. All right, guys, now it's time to delve into some of these comments and questions and try to break this stuff down. So the first one is from Nuke Zap. JJ Enterprise is junk, both versions, and the D and E are junk too. Total garbage ships. The TOS A, B, and C are the best designs. It's a nice, actually that's a refreshing kind of take on things. Yeah, the original, the refit, the A and the B and the C are good, but then he doesn't like the D or the E. A lot of people love the E, even if they hate the Enterprise D, so that's a very interesting take on things. So thank you, Nuke. Brad Spencer says, I just found your channel and I've really enjoyed it very much. He was on to say some stuff about Discovery. I'm not going to read all of these, like I said. So I'm just kind of nitpick and, selectively pick a few out of here. Bill 23799, hey Captain Foley, how about an opening flyby of the USS Enterprise C sometime in the future? I think the C is a great and underrated design. As do I. I actually used to hate the Enterprise C. The Ambassador class used to really bug me. Then I built the model, and since I built the model, I absolutely love the design. It's one of my favorite Starfleet designs now. The Ambassador class is a nice looking ship. I wish I could have a model version of Andrew Probert's original design for it, but. And the opening I'll put on this captain's log will be all the ships. You're not going to see them in any kind of detail because it's kind of far away. But what the hell, just throw all the Enterprises into the opening of this one. So thank you, Samuel, for that opening. It's absolutely fantastic. As always, Samuel does a great job. The next is from How's the Doctor on Voyage? Voyage. Apropos JJ-verse, has anyone noticed that the Kelvin timeline mirrors the old movies? 2009 shows the Enterprise in dry dock, has a lightning storm in space, and technically superior villain like TMP. Into Darkness is obviously beyond shows the destruction of the Enterprise. Into Darkness is obvious, and Beyond shows the destruction of the Enterprise, the crew spending most of their time on a planet and hijacking an enemy vessel like the Search for Spock. Since Chris Hemsworth will be reprising his role in the planned fourth movie, I'm betting time travel will be involved. I've been saying that all along. I don't like the fact that JJ just rehashes all the old shit. I want to see something new from him. It's because he's rehashing old shit and not doing it very well that I kind of get annoyed. I'd like to see new and creative stuff from him. I think it would be fantastic if it wasn't the Enterprise. It was just another ship. Now that the Enterprise is destroyed. But of course they put the A on there, which is fine, I guess. Yeah, I've pointed out the similarities between all the movies as well. It really bugs me. Just do something new. Plus, this isn't the movie era that you're redoing. It's the TOS era. So maybe do some TOS episode-ish things. I know you're still rehashing things, but at least you're on the right timeline, time frame. You're not rehashing, oh, that's the movie. This is what happened in the first movie, so I got to make my movie to do that. No. The movies were not the TOS era. You obviously are, so please stop it. Mustafa Mohammed. This is one I've got to mention, even though it is Discovery related. Has it been announced who the designer of Discovery is? No, it has not. Not sure when it will be, but we can't say. So my question is, why not go with another Constitution? If it's 10 years before TOS, oh, what's a Discovery? I can't do it. All right, this next one's a long one, but I think it's worth reading. Genuine Intrepid. At least I think it's worth reading. I don't think it's about Discovery, so. I don't want you to feel insulted by this, but I think it's a very important point. And he starts out by saying, hi, Stu. Well, right off, I don't like being called Stu, but you didn't know that. It's Stuart. There's only a few people that can call me Stu and have it sound good, or sound right, and yeah, so don't call me Stu if you want to be on my good side. But it's okay, it's okay. I've got you. When you say it is all Star Trek, so I'll watch it, it gives me the impression that this is more about brand loyalty, which is sadly what Star Trek is nowadays. You say you own the JJ movies as well as the Enterprise series, but the question I have for you, I hope you might ask yourself, is this: would you have done so if the brand name Star Trek was not associated with them? What would it take for you to decide not to watch or purchase related material sold under the Star Trek brand? You're right, it is all about branding. If Enterprise was another sci-fi franchise, I wouldn't own it. I'd watch it, but I wouldn't own it. Same with the JJ stuff. The JJ stuff I might own because it is action-packed, it is fun, and if it wasn't Star Trek, it'd be fantastically awesome, great movies. As it is, they're just they're Star Trek movies. So it's a good point, but it is about branding. I love Star Trek. I love supporting Star Trek. I think that your brand loyalty is commendable, and believe me when I tell you that I completely understand your desire to support the brand. I, like you, absolutely adore and love Star Trek, and have always will. But where I differ is that I don't share an automatic brand loyalty. For me, for something to be truly Trek, it has to be artistic, integral to what Star Trek has done within its fictional universe previously. This is, of course, entirely subjective to each individual. I don't believe the show Enterprise. I'm deliberately not attaching the Star Trek name to it, because the premise itself is based upon a planet-size continuity contradiction and the adventures of the crew and the starship that don't exist in the previously established canon. Well, at least you agree with my my canonista views on that, so that's good. No matter what happened on that show, it is hard to me to simply suspend my disbelief that what happened on the show actually contributed to the Star Trek timeline previously established. Same for the new JJ verse. It doesn't even pretend to be the primary universe like Star Trek did. It is not reboot compromise. It is a reboot compromise. I mean, what is the effect on the prime timeline? The thing that makes Trek Trek. That's a good point. And I think of Enterprise as just that, a holodeck simulation that somebody put on that was fictional. Maybe Riker was watching some fictionalized, serialized, alternate history of the future written by somebody like Jake Sisko that created this holodeck program. Yeah. Or it is an alternate timeline, which I don't have a problem with. We actually have a podcast about that coming out, Sang and myself, that discusses when, it won't be this Saturday, Sunday after, I think, for that podcast, but that my theory and my premise, belief that the events of Enterprise don't happen in the prime timeline, but in either an alternate timeline or a parallel universe, but one very close to ours. So if you look at it like that, I can see why you wouldn't want to watch them, but at the same time, that's why I do want to watch them, because I don't mind if it's established right away. If Enterprise said, okay, this is a different timeline or a different whatever, fine. I'd be totally on board with it, and I'd love it and gobble it up more than I do. JJ did that, but they did it really poorly, in my opinion. So yeah, I was on board right initially with JJ, and I enjoyed it the first time I watched it because I just turned off my brain, and then it started to bug me, and I watched it more, and it just, things cropped up, and all the inconsistencies about the physics just annoy me, just want to rip my hair out, and that's what really threw me off of JJ, is the problem with the science and the physics and things. Get to Earth to Kronos in a day, come on, seriously. Ship underwater to hide it from the natives. I think in orbit might be more practical. They don't have satellite technology. Anyway, I'm not going to get into all that. If you're interested in that, check out my video, JJ's Star Trek Sucks, and here's why. So yeah, I think one of the reasons why despite the declining quality of the shows Voyager and Enterprise, Voyager wasn't too bad. It had some moments. The new movies have found a financial success, that is, the IP holders have exploited fan loyalty to the brand for more than 2 decades. I think it gives the IP holders an inaccurate sense of fan acceptance of every new offering made under the brand of Star Trek, and giving them the free pass when the product is not up to standard. I will agree with you there. It's a really good point that I hadn't really considered, but thank you for sharing that. In my own opinion, it's better to be very vocal and even go so far as saying that it isn't Trek, and withholding the purchasing of related merchandise as a way of saying to the IP holders, I want good Trek, not subpar crap with this brand slapped on. Even going so far as to say it is better to have no Trek than god-awful Trek. By the way, I like the Discovery design as it was presented, and have oodles of optimism about this show than I ever had in Enterprise, but I still have a lot of worries about what will happen with the show. Worries that I hope will disappear once the show airs. Okay, I did mention Discovery there, but some of the comments might include something small like that, but I'm deliberately avoiding the negative Discovery things. I really like that. Thank you so much, Genuine Intrepid. That was an amazing thing to read. I'm glad you posted that. It gives me a new thing to think about. I never really considered that before. That's just about brand loyalty. I like that. So thank you for that. But I can't not watch Star Trek, and that's the sad thing. Yeah. Matthew Bradwell says, I like this video, but I wish there was more dog talk. Well, Archer had a dog, right? Porthos, awesome dog. Sally's doing pretty good. She's still got the cancer, obviously, but the medication she's giving, she's more herself. She's more active. She's drinking a lot more, though, unfortunately. She's pissing herself while she's lying on the floor and stuff. She's been in the garbage a few times. I don't know if it's increased her appetite or if she's just in pain and trying to get attention. But she seems to be doing a lot better. She doesn't seem like she's in pain, so I don't know. So there's the update on Sally. Thank you for asking. I really need to talk about that with somebody other than the family kind of thing. So I'm glad that a lot of you jumped in. A lot of you have messaged me even privately asking how the dog is, and I've sent you pictures of her and stuff. And yeah, it's just nice talking to you guys about that kind of stuff. And again, if you don't like it, this is not the place for you. Bye. Don't let the door hit you on the way out. Philip Drury says, I sympathize with the grief on the lack of Star Trek stuff in shops. It's the same in England, in various places. Off in the closet, I will come to Star Trek merchandise around here in a plastic drinking... Closest I will come to Star Trek merchandise around here is a plastic drinking cup with a lid that looks like the Bizarre Collector's, or a golden light that looks curiously like the Space Matrix Restoration Assembly on the original Enterprise. What few shops did stock Trek things are long gone. That's sad. I mean, I hate not finding Trek stuff when I go to a comic book store or something like that. I immediately go for the Trek stuff. Even at the antique warehouse that we were just at on the weekend. First thing that goes through my mind when I'm there is I look for bright, colorful things because they're usually toys. And I love vintage toys. I like Transformers, and so you can find some good old Transformers and things there. So I go immediately for that kind of stuff. You always see a lot of Star Trek stuff there as well, so I love seeing that kind of stuff there. I'm into antiques and stuff as well. As you've seen from upstairs, I have swords and things like that to my collection. But yeah, I when there's no Star Trek stuff, I always feel disappointed a little bit. So yeah, I understand your pains there. And speaking of drinking cups and things, I got this, received this in the mail the other day. I forget the gentleman that was offering these as model base stands or whatever. It's actually a Star Trek Beyond cup. Fill it up, stick your straw in. But it's the Delta, and yeah, it could be used for a model stand or just for display or something. So I messaged him and snagged one up. I can't remember his name, and I can't find the message now. So if it's you, thank you very much. I appreciated it. But yeah, very cool, big insignia thing and a drink cup. So these are probably things you'll find at yard sales or garage sales in the future, flea markets, things like that. Fairly cool. I mean, you put that up on a shelf, it looks very cool. So yeah. Thank you to whoever did it. I can't remember their name. Please, I hope you're watching this and you comment, because I really want to thank you. Captain Lokiwa, either by purpose or whatever, I may not comment on your logs anymore, Mon Capitan. Not just because you may be of my being skipped. It's just thanks to YouTube making this Packlet update to where everything is shown, whether they be comments or replies to just other comments. It just doesn't seem practical for me to comment anymore. You may see me around from time to time, but not on YouTube's Captain's Log. See you out there. Well, that's sad, because Captain Lokiwa, you've been commenting on my log since the very beginning. They've kind of fixed it now, I think. They're not showing the replies lumped together, which I like. I was kind of annoyed with that last time as well. But then again, I'm looking at it on my computer this time and not the iPad, so I don't know how it would do that way. So Scott Clark says, hey Captain Foley, I've watched all of the Trekyards videos over the last 2 months. This year has been my great awakening as a Trekkie again. I've watched every episode of every show and every movie, and I am a trade union rep and a campaigner for Scottish independence. My life is based around fighting for equality and fairness for those fairness which Star Trek perfectly personifies. I love your passion for Trek and can't get enough of your mission briefings. Please consider me part of your crew. I'll be the diplomat. I can't wait for Discovery. I'm not going to get into that. Anyways, live long and prosper to you, Captain Foley and Commander Cockings, Ambassador Scott Clark, ending transmission. Live long and prosper, Scott Clark. You're welcome aboard the crew anytime. Thank you for enjoying Trekyards and for watching. My hair, oh my god, my hair's been a mess the whole time, hasn't it? Doesn't matter. Don't care. Thanks for the level-headed criticism and praise. P.S. I wanted to ask a bit of a throwback question that you may have the answer to and ask your opinion on the same subject. One of my all-time favorite starships in Star Trek universe is the original Excelsior class. I like the angles, the modern saucer, the elongated engineering hull, the cowled deflector dish, the long nacelles The right-angled strut attached to the ovoid on top of the long engineering hull, and the robust neck with ridges. I hate the cheeks and the weird nacelles on the refit model. They look like they were on Generations. Bits added on so they could damage without breaking the original model. That's exactly what they were, but I think they did a good job, and I actually like the refit a lot better. First, my question: do you know if it is true that the Excelsior was intended for Kirk and Company? The production chickened out last minute and brought up another refit Constitution called the Enterprise A. Yes, that is true. From what I've heard, it was supposed to be the new ship for the crew, but I think rather wisely they went with the Enterprise A. And then he goes on to talk about other designs which might have been good, and he's supplied some links there, so if you want to check those out. Let's see. Foley, N7, Star Wars is Star Trek for dummies. About the lady that was saying she can't find Star Trek merchandise, besides the new 50 years merchandise available, Funko has a new line of Star Trek Beyond Pops. Square Enix Play Arts has 2 new 12-inch toys from the new Kirk and Spock, Mega Bloks Kubros, and 2 new figures from Star Trek, Spock and Worf, etc. So you can find all those on Amazon or eBay. I have all of that, and they are really good stuff. Yeah, the Funko Pops are interesting. It's funny because I went to the London Comic Con to do Trekyards live presentation, and while there was like walls of Funko Pops in every display booth. It's a little much. Some of the characters, do they really need them? I don't think so. You're just a regular human with a costume. Why do you need it? I think Funko Pops are better with things like this. This is the one I had to pick up. Voltron. You know, cool little thing. I understand the people's love for Funko Pops. I do. But to have literally walls of them, you could build houses. You could build city blocks with the ones that they had at the conventions. And some of them will probably never get sold. Like, who wants some random dude from Buffy the Vampire Slayer? Like, whoever Seth Green played in that show. Who cares? You could paint any Funko Pop to look like this guy and put his name on it. I don't know. I just don't understand the Funko Pop love. Some of them are alright. But like I said, there's very few that I have. I got some in my loot crates and nerd blocks, but they're still boxed up. I'm going to be giving them away to people. So, but yeah, there's this one I had to have, but other ones not so much. I don't understand the love for the Funko Pop. So I don't really consider those Star Trek merch because I would never want them. I get that some people like them though. It's like Beanie Babies. That's what they're going to be in the future. They're going to be the Beanie Babies of our day. Nova 1972X. Hey, Captain Foley, thank you for sharing about your 1979, not 1978 Camaro last time. Generation 2 Camaros are among my favorite muscle cars, and my brother once had a 1976 Camaro. I will definitely share a picture or two when my Nova is out of the paint shop. Anyways, I have a question. I know you cannot reveal much about the Discovery design or who is doing it, but can you confirm whether or not someone who has worked on Star Trek franchise or TV shows and movies? If so, is it someone who has been featured on Trekyards yet? I can't say. I can't confirm or deny anything. I can't do it. James Anya, not to seem too negative, but you do tend to wave a banner a little too blindly. Personally, I'm done with the prequels. I'm not waving a banner. I like it. That's how my videos have always been. If I like it, and I express that. If I don't like it, I express that also. I'm not waving any banners for anybody. I don't give a fuck who, what is going on in CBS or whatever. I'm not here to kiss anybody's ass. I'm just telling you what I like and my thoughts on it. I'm not waving a banner. I don't agree with that comment at all. James Oldfield, cheers for your log as always, Captain. Don't let those who have already rejected Star Trek Discovery for 1 minute get you down. It's a shame that you've got to filter the comments now, but I think it's a wise decision. One quick thing, would it be possible to get the Trekyards website list of videos updated, as it seems to stop at episode 98 and not on episode 184? That's on the website. The website is literally this week being moved over to a new server, new redesign, new completely new look. We're going with a new everything on that website. And it's going to be a work in progress. We're going to be adding a store element to that soon as well. So there's a lot going on with the website. So yes, if you want Trekyards episodes, go to the playlist in YouTube. As the website hasn't been updated in a while for numerous reasons, basically because we're too busy. But we have a new guy that's working with the website that will be taking care of that kind of thing and making sure that it's up and running. And it's a great looking new website. You're going to love the redesign. So thank you for commenting. Was going to ignore this one, but I'm going to say it. Pickle jars for Hillary. This episode sponsored in part by CBS. Not at all. Just because I like something doesn't mean I'm endorsing the people that, or I'm being coerced to say so, to support something. I've just gone over that, and again, not a necessary comment. So, no, I just like or dislike things, and I express that. That's just why you guys come to watch me, half of you. So, to those that come to see my real opinion, thank you. To everyone else, I will not say things just to agree with certain people. I'm sorry. The Hillbilly Gamer said, what kind of dog you got, Captain? And if you want to talk about your dog and talk about your doll bunny, the hell with them haters. She's a puggle, part pug, part beagle. I also have a little dog, Chihuahua, named Dot. So Sally's puggle and Dot's Chihuahua. Hillbilly Gamers commented a few things. Like I said, I'm just going through and selecting a few certain ones. So I apologize if I don't get your comment or I don't cover all the stuff you talk about. It's just so many comments on this one. When we have less comments, as most captain's logs do, this one probably will because I'm not really talking about Discovery. I will address them all, but just because of so many comments that I had to cut it down. So that's the reason for it, guys. These are the kind of viewers I like. Casey Gabriel, they had to go at you for talking about your dog? That's so rude. Sorry to hear that happened. It definitely says more about them than it does about you. What odd people. To which King Hamster Trekkie 6 replied, couldn't agree more. In fact, I would like to hear more about the good captain's dog. Well, there you go. You've heard a few things about her now. So, Benny Gardelli says, I know, Cap. This is your channel. You can talk about anything you want. Talk about your dog, your cat, your parakeet, how fast the grass grows, and what kind of mower you use to cut it. Someone doesn't like it, go watch something else. Couldn't agree more. Thank you, Benny. Kenneth Theisberg Jensen, you are doing a great service to the Star Trek fans, and I'm happy you want to share some of your personal life with us. Keep up the great work. Best regards from Denmark. Thank you very much, Denmark, from Canada. Cornell Morgo, sorry if I said it wrong. Love your posting. CBS needs to get together and make sure the show is the best it can be. I'll watch it anyway, like all of Star Trek. Patrick Farmer, Captain Foley, fellow Camaro owner. The Bonaventure class vessel, as seen on page 30 of the Ships of the Line, is awesome. Gabe Cornier's USS Enterprise is not bad either. What do you think? I agree with both those. I talked to Gabe occasionally. We've meaning to get him on the show, but he's never available. But yeah, I love his Enterprise. I thought it should have been the JJ prize. So yeah, I like them. Brian Campbell CA, I'm kind of new to your videos. What is the reason that you have inside access to Discovery information? Are you involved with the production? Do they ask for your input since you do a good job YouTube following? We know a lot of the people behind the scenes, a lot of the designers. We've met them personally. We talk to them on a regular basis now. So we have access to all those kind of behind the scenes people, and that's the reason that we have the this access to this knowledge. And a lot of them are really great people, and they're friends of ours now. So yeah, they'll send us information about what's going on with the new production and things like that. So it's really great to have that insider kind of look at things. And although there was one or two comments up earlier that said that I make believe that I have all this background knowledge, but it's 100% true. I don't know how else to prove it to you, other than telling you what I know and what I've seen, and I can't do that. So. But yeah, that's the answer to that question. So thank you, Brian. Jason Lim says, yes, please do a Sentinel Trekyards episode. I'm sure we will. Bill Cross is a good friend of mine, and I see him every year at Wonderfest. We've done the Shangri-La. We've done a mission briefing on his USS, on his Wasp design. So I'm sure we'll do a mission briefing and hopefully an eventual episode of the Sentinel, as the Sentinel is a great looking ship. So stay tuned. And that's it, guys. There was a few other comments that weren't related to Discovery that I had to skip just for time-wise. So I apologize if I missed your comment or question. If you want to ask it in this one again, I'll probably get around to it, because I'm sure this one will have less comments, because they won't all be driven by the thumbnail that was Discovery and all these people will watch it. So I just want my dedicated fan base to be watching. A lot of people said, oh, you spend an hour bitching and complaining and contradicting yourself. I'm unsubscribing to the channel. Well, goodbye. Like, again, don't let the door hit you on the way out, because it really doesn't bug me. If that's the kind of attitude you have, why are you watching my Captain's Log, first of all, unless you actually care what I think and want to hear my opinion? And please unsubscribe then. Either don't watch my Captain's Log and watch the regular Trekyards episodes, which is just fact. Like, why is it necessary to say that comment and unsubscribe? Whatever. You're missing out. You're missing out. I don't give a shit. So that's it. Sorry, this is kind of a ranty Captain's Log, but it's just the way I've been feeling. Very negative, very down, not really enjoying making the creative process here. So yeah, that's the summary here. And no Discovery in this one. Not talking about it, even though I've mentioned it quite a few times now, but nothing specific. So I don't want to hear any comments about Discovery in the comment section. This week I don't care. All right. So anyway, I think that's it, guys. Please tune in next week. Plus, we got a lot of great stuff coming. And 2 weeks from today is Drex-conoga. When the trip begins, I will be driving down there. So 2 weeks away, guys. If you have a chance, go over and check out our Patreon and donate what you can. Lots of great perks and things available. So lots of cool stuff for you guys as well. Plus all the documentary style stuff we're going to be doing down there. And I'm meeting up with some people that I met when I was in Trekyards. They're going to be joining me as well. Dan Hall, Corey Wallace. So we're going to have a great time down there and hanging out with some Trekyards fans. Real fans that really appreciate what we do and don't complain about us asking for a little bit of help. So that's it, guys. That's all I can think of. I will see you guys in the comments section below, and I'll see you next time. Until then, I'm Captain Foley, signing off. Bye, everybody. Have a good one.